Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. Special episode today because it's the first natural show of the season. Me and Reese have just had a debate off cam. I was saying that this will be more popular than if we did the PCA Universe show review first, because
No,
I believe that, huh?
I wasn't saying PCA.
As
I
soon
was
as the
just saying,
camera's on, you change in your mind.
no, mate. No, I was literally saying that people like things that are relevant and they're current. And the days pass, people forget less about shows. If
Yeah,
we
and
were
I'm
to,
not saying that, but you said people are more bothered about the PCA, and I said I don't think they will be.
no, I don't know. It depends on really what you're after. All your clients, mate, are skinny natties. Like I have some clients who actually have some muscle, so therefore PCA is probably what they're more interested in. You know?
Your best client is a natty.
Yeah, shit, fuck, you got me there. Yeah. Oh, you got me.
You don't have any good enhanced clients. Your only good clients one natty, Jacob.
That's one client. You've only got Josh. That's it. And
Yeah, I'm not claiming that I don't. I'm not going, oh, I've got loads of fucking great guys in the PTA. Right. Anyway, we're going to talk about the NBW show because we were both there, and that makes more sense for us to talk about the show that we were both at. I don't
yes.
know why you're against the NBW show.
Mate,
What
I'm
have you
not
got
against
against
him.
AJ? Is it AJ? Is it Loz? What's wrong with Loz? Is it
Well,
Lee? What don't you like about Lee?
a lot of things actually.
You,
You know,
mate, you're loving Lee yesterday. You kept going up to him and
he
like
told me off.
touching him up.
He told me off.
I know
Do
you
you
did
know?
because you
Yeah.
shouted fucking hell in his ear.
No, I shouted. He said, "Language, please," and then it was. I was like, "Sorry, sorry, Lee.
Uh,
Please give him the win in the overall." And then I saw Lee in the bathrooms afterwards and was like, "Thanks for that, bro. I'll sort you out
exactly.
now." Right. So,
Exactly.
yeah, very, very good show. I will say before we get into the reels themselves, the quality, they do need to. The thing is, the lighting was class. The lighting was amazing, but I think camera setup, whatever, everyone looks even more washed out than the PCA reels, like by quite some distance. So,
It was just shaky, wasn't it? Like
yeah,
I don't think the camera was like fully stationary and like locked in, if you like. It looked like the every
yeah,
time somebody like moved on the stage or the beat of the song, the camera was shaking.
yeah.
So take that into consideration. But we will get going with first timers bodybuilding class A. They split it into two classes. They split the classes by age and not by weight or height, which they usually do, which was a little bit weird. But I mean, fair play. Like it's what they ended up doing, and it's not really a massive problem, is it? Like I guess it works. It's fair when you look at it from an age perspective, but then you also get like huge discrepancies in height or weight, which can sometimes look a little bit odd. But I guess people can't really complain if it's like everybody's in a similar kind of age bracket. But yeah, a bit weird. I've not seen that done before, apart from obviously when it's juniors, teens, etc. So this was the first timers men's bodybuilding class A, third place.
Yeah. So
Um,
this was the first class of the day. So I had obviously a teen in. You didn't have anybody in bar Will, did you? For the first part of the show, did you?
no,
Oh, no.
I will touch on that as well because somebody put. Well, I'll pause this just because I saw somebody comment on one of Will's reels, like
Hmm.
be interesting to see if Finn comments on this on the podcast about like this is before Will competed. So I'm going to comment on it mainly because
What,
somebody literally put just
what
like because
was?
obviously we rate people's physiques when they're
Oh,
competing. Like
hey,
so somebody put on one of Will's reels. I saw they tagged me in it. And it was like, I wonder if Finn will cover this, like almost like a bit of a dig, as if he won't say anything about this. Yeah, I will.
of course,
Like,
we cover anything and
yeah,
everything.
exactly. Will knows exactly what I would say, and I've said this to him multiple times. He's not at the level to be competitive, but that doesn't mean you can't compete if you want to compete. Will wanted to compete, that's fine. I can only help so much. I can't do everything as a coach. Like I can't make Will all of a sudden miraculously build tons of muscle or miraculously get peeled. He has to be more disciplined. He knows that. He needs time to grow. He knows that. That's it. Will's not at the level to be a competitive bodybuilder at the minute. In the future,
Yeah,
he may be. We'll see. Right now, he's not. Does that mean he can't compete? No, he wanted to compete. That's fine. I wouldn't have competed if I was him, and I told him that, and I told him I don't think he should. I don't think he needs to. He's still proven that he can diet. He's still proven that he can get a bit leaner and then set up another gaining phase. But he wanted to compete and experience it, and he did that. So credit to him. So I am going to cover it, and I'm not deluded. It's if people like putting on, people are tagging me in his post, like, who's your coach? Like, I'm not deluded. Like I'm not going, oh yeah, Will, you look amazing. Like Will knows that. and I have loads of respect for Will to still be able to do it and go through with it. Fair play to
Yeah,
him.
man. And to
Like,
be fair, we want to say like the amount of hate that he received. So this is for people that don't know, like because obviously Finn's just saying Will Bertolini, one of like Finn's clients or ex-clients now, which is a bit of a shame, but irrelevant of that. One of those where like the amount of comments that he was getting, which is negative, it sucks because he's choosing to do this and it's his choice. And some people, like there's one winner per class. There's a lot of people in a lot of shows that don't look like they should be there based off condition, based off muscularity, based off presentation, based off potentially all three, and then maybe even more. And for Will to get on stage and still, let's say, demonstrate his, let's say, best possible look relative to the circumstances, like, cool, sound, crack on. And I don't care. I don't know why people care. Like, it's one of those where it's like you can only help
no,
him
but
so much.
people like to
Not
comment
quite.
and have their opinion. People like to be like negative more than positive, and also like what like it's different. You know what I mean? Like you don't often see
Yeah,
somebody who looks like Will saying that they're going to compete. So it's different. So that's why it got loads of clout and loads of comments. So yeah,
yeah.
like I just wanted to address it because I didn't want it to be like, oh, we've ignored that for any reason. Like, no, we will cover everything honestly, and we're just like that with all our clients. Like I'm very honest
There'll be
with all
clients
my
that we
clients,
get
and I'm
on
very honest
stage.
with Will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mate, there'll be clients we get on stage this year that we might miss the mark. They might not be perfect. We can only do the best that we can possibly do.
Yeah.
And we're not just gonna randomly before the call go, hey mate, don't mention the client that
Well,
I
it's
have that
like
didn't do
I
as
was
well.
literally saying like last night on the drive home, like I was just like eating away at myself, thinking like, what could I have done for the other three clients? Like with Will, there wasn't anything that was going to make him place or with like that was irrelevant. But with
Mm.
like with Ben and with Sonny and with George, I was like, they all look really fucking good, but they didn't place. And I was thinking like, could I have changed it? Like, is there anything we could have done? And like Shannon was like, they all look mint. They were all really happy. They just didn't place because the classes were good. And I was
Yeah.
like, I know, but and then obviously you saying the same, and I'm like, I know, like when you think rationally, that's correct, but then I'm
Mm.
still thinking like, is there anything I could have changed or like? But it's bodybuilding. Like, not everybody can win. It's not the world
Yeah.
with the world we live in now, where everyone's a winner and everyone's nice to everybody. No, like if you're not good enough, you're not good enough, and you didn't place, and that's okay. You just need to be better.
And that's like, it's the reason why these podcasts at the time get some like bad feedback at times, and very minimal, but we're honest. Like we will say, you missed the mark, you didn't get this done properly, whatever. Like again, it's almost if you say anything. So for example, we'll watch through Jack Chan's reel. This guy, social media wise, done really well. Like, he's been on it with content, and I think it can be good, and then it can also be bad. Like, I think the best way to describe Jack Chan would be like genetically extremely well, extremely good, looks class, really good shape, good muscularity, good fullness. But then I'd say condition wise, like we said, what in the gym, passable, like just about when it
Yeah,
comes to how things are.
because of his amount of muscle,
Yeah.
his condition was in no way bad at all.
No, 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 definitely.
His
No,
condition
definitely.
was good, but it
Yeah.
wasn't ridiculous.
No. And I know that he said to most people in person, by the sounds of things, that he had, and he put up a post today. So give it a read through if you guys want. His name's Jack Chan. You can see it on the thing where someone's tagged him. He had some digestive stress. I think he had overate, yeah, off plan or whatever, a few days out, which again, it happens. It's unfortunate, but also he'll learn from it. And like if it he was saying to me, and he was actually chatting with Jacobs and my client, and he was chatting about his digestive stress and all that sort of stuff. And I said to him, I was like, it's not fullness that like you didn't win, it's just condition. Like he's in very good nick, but for how much muscle mass he has, if he was inside out peeled, like he won this class, but he would have done better in the juniors, and it would have been a much better battle in the overall. So yeah, really good presentation, like done really well on social media. I'm hoping for
He is
him
really
and
good.
for
Like
how
he was
yeah,
very
he should get there.
impressive in his class. He really
Yeah.
was. But yeah, like I think for the future shows, like I think if he comes in that bit sharper, he is going to be very hard to beat for anyone. Like he is really good. So I didn't see this class. This was the class B, so the older section of the first timers. The guy that won, I'm sure he's AJ's client. I'm sure he is, and I'm sure I saw him on AJ's Instagram maybe like a couple of months ago, and he was like very close then. He was leaner than most people then on stage. Like he was peeled,
Yeah.
like his glutes were like inside out even back then. So he was really impressive in the overall from a condition standpoint, like really impressive, especially his glutes, like probably some of the leanest glutes I've ever seen on an amateur. But
Yeah.
he obviously just lacks a bit in terms of the look his glutes even on the reel, like that's stupid.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
in terms of overall shape and structure and sort of size, he lacked compared to some of the bigger guys like the junior
Yeah.
winner, which we'll come on to, like Jacob, which we'll come on to, but still like
Yeah.
super impressive. One of the most impressive people on the day in terms of condition. So fair play
Yeah.
to Jordan, like really fucking good. Like
I
that
feel
takes a
like
lot to get into that
in,
condition.
yeah, within natural bodybuilding, like you can't play too many cards, but when you have like stripped glutes top to bottom, it's like sick no matter what.
Yeah,
Like
you could do well.
this guy might have second or third, and if I saw those glutes, I literally in the overall was like, fucking hell, I hadn't seen that guy. His glutes were
Yeah, it
amazing. We
was
both said that.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw really, really good. So, like, obviously he won his class, which is cool, and he I think he probably would have been. I don't know if he did he get first call out in the overall. I don't think he did. Um,
I'm not
might
sure.
have. But regardless, like when you have glutes like that, it's like fair play. You can like tip your cap and go, yeah, cool,
Yeah,
good
it
stuff,
doesn't
bro.
matter.
You know?
Don't forget everything else. It's still like fucking impressive.
Yeah,
So on
definitely.
to teens. And obviously it was a good class. Like obviously the winner was very impressive, which was Jacob, who we're going to come on to, and we're going to have either on this episode or maybe I think we'll probably do like a bit of a separate interview episode with
Yeah.
Jacob. It might be part of this. We'll see. But basically, yeah. So the third place was Archie, coached by Aaron. What's that? What's Aaron's surname? Carpenter. Aaron Aesthetics. I always think
Carpenter, yeah.
his name was. Then
And then we've
Solomon.
got Bruno Mars here.
Bruno Mars, yeah. Solomon, who's coached by uh, Dan Watson.
Yeah.
All the team made by Dan, as Sam has commented here, and he was good, but like it's one of those like he's a good teen, but then you come up against Jacob, and it's just like okay, like
Yeah.
Jacob's very very good. I didn't see his
Yeah.
routine. I don't think. Oh, I did. I did
Mm.
see his routine. He stood at the back the whole time.
Yeah. He said to me straight away afterwards, he was like, there was an X on the floor. He was like, should I have come to the should I come further forward? I was like, I think you probably should have, mate. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he looked at the reel and he was like, oh yeah, I'm so much further back than everybody. And I was
But
like,
the
yeah,
lighting's
you
still
are.
okay.
Yeah, the lighting's okay, but it doesn't do him justice, like how he looks, because he's literally right at the back of the stage. Like
Yeah.
with this reel, really doesn't put him into perspective just how like crazy it was. But yeah, the team class was really good. Jacob walked out, and within like not even within a second, I was like, by the time everyone had even walked out, I was like, yeah, he's won. Like the team runner up was good. He was, I'd say, quite a good distance above the guy that finished third, and then the guys that were like third, fourth, fifth were pretty similar, and then like from fifth to 11, like usual standard for teams, like not as much muscularity, not that condition, and like Jacob's just again a bit of an alien. We'll get into him into the overall and stuff, but like most muscular, like freakish, like sort of look, which is quite cool. And also, fucking imagine being a teen up against him. Imagine your first ever show and you see him pump up. You'd be like, oh, come on, bro, really?
His quads are like I know everyone goes on about his quads, like, but they are like what makes him stand out. His upper body's good, but his quads are
I
just
don't know, man. Like, if you were to look at him, his waist is tiny, his
yeah.
delts are strides,
His chest, his
cross strides.
delts, his
Yeah,
quads. Like I
yeah.
said, from the back he's good, but from the front he's like what
Mm,
the fuck? Like if he
yeah.
was as good from the back, like we said, he'd be a pro already. Like he's stupid.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he'd win a pro title this year, like
Yeah,
by quite. It
he
wouldn't
just
even be a doubt.
he just needs to be a lot better from the back, which is obviously just something to focus on. Like what's his like back training like? We might as well stick on it for now.
Mate, his back training's really good. Like he hinges a good amount. It's funny. So, again, we'll get into this like in the either the next part or the next episode that we do. But he came from powerlifting. So he started training when he was like 12, 13, so similar age to me, which is quite cool. And it's quite rare. And then he told me like he entered a powerlifting contest when he was 15. And then at like 16, 17, he was like sumo deadlifting like 285 or something pretty crazy. And he's squatted like he used to just do loads of barbell squats. He got 4 plates for like 15 reps or 16 reps or something pretty cool. So like he's got a good foundation of strength. And again, it's one of those where like I don't think his back is so weak. It just needs to be better. Like it just needs to
Yeah,
be
it just
thicker in
doesn't
relation
meet
to how.
up to the rest of his physique.
Yeah, no, definitely. But in some areas, like it's also as well like he's got that freak factor. Like I don't think they'll show the overall, but like Finn the whole day, and it was quite cool because I obviously know of Jacob's potential, but the whole day it's like you doubt a team. You're not going to be like, oh, he's going to win the overall. And I had so many people after every class come up to me going, "Your boy's amazing, but this guy's really good. He's just won this class." And I was like, "Yeah, we'll
Same
see."
with
Like
Josh last
just
year.
yeah, yeah, literally every single person was saying, "Yeah, we'll see." And then you see them stand next to somebody, and it's like Jacob's absolutely stripped. He was the
Yeah.
leanest in the entire show, and he also has the freakiest body parts, aka probably the best quads I've seen on a natty stage, like in the UK, ever. Like I'm trying to think off the top of my head who I've seen. Like Thorburns got a good set of wheels. Jacob's got better legs. You know, like there's not many people that I think of that have got like better quads. And when you have that mixed in with amazing conditioning, really good presentation, and also as well, like you could just see he was so calm and composed. Like it's almost like an unbeatable package. And that's why I was not surprised when he was like first call out in the or second call out, but in the middle for the overall, and then he won it. Like I thought we'll get into it. But it was very obvious. I thought it was his in the overall. Like the worst thing is he wasn't called out first.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. Like
Yeah,
he won in the end. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter if you get first call, like the first. Well, he was in first call outs. He just wasn't named
yeah,
first. Like, doesn't really matter.
mm,
So on
yeah.
to they've put it in. Oh no, junior. Sorry, I was thinking then teens. So junior bodybuilding. This guy came in second. He was like really impressive. He stood out as a somebody who I didn't know and was like really, really classic. So he was like, oh, like he's actually really good. And I didn't know who he was. Obviously, I knew the guy that won, which we'll come on to, and Julian or Jack Chan came third. And everybody thought it'd be like a battle between those two. And this guy obviously ended up in second. And he was really good, to be fair. Like, not quite as freaky as the winner or even as Julian, but like very lean, good poser, like no huge sort of standout weaknesses. Like he was good. He was really good. And I think as well, like just because maybe Julian wasn't his best, like I think they knew he wasn't his best, and he even like didn't look as good. I think his tan didn't look as good. His glaze wasn't quite as good as it was
You,
in the first part.
I don't know if it was you who said it to me, but somebody said like he came back out obviously for the following class, and they were like he looked really poor in
Yeah, he
comparison. It was
wasn't as
like
good. I think he just faded. I think he was just tired, like which makes sense. Yeah, he'd done
he
a lot of
said to me,
posing.
he said to me he was sweating a lot. So clearly,
Yeah,
obviously, if his body's a bit he's stressed and stuff
it
like
makes a
that.
big difference.
Like
Like I remember when I did last year when I did the Southern, I did classic and bodybuilding, and it was literally
mm,
like one class in between. So I
yeah,
had it was like 10 minutes, and
yeah,
they made me work really hard in the bodybuilding class. I had to go out backstage, go and get change my trunks, and I was back on, and like my legs were trashed, like I was battered. So and I think it's what maybe similar kind of time frame in between. So he didn't have long to like actually recover, if you like, because it's difficult. Like people don't
I
realize
didn't
that
have an
having
in
competed.
between. I didn't have in between that
That's
fitted,
better
mate.
though. That's I'd
Yeah,
rather
I
that.
just
Like
literally,
yeah,
yeah, I stood off, didn't even go backstage, and then the next guy was lining up, and I was like, guess I'm on again.
yeah. I'd rather that though because you feel like you just carry on. But like if you have
Yeah,
like a 5 minute break,
when
it's
you
like
rest,
yeah,
yeah,
it's difficult. But anyway,
yeah,
Surab, I think is how you pronounce his name, who is Adam Powell's client. He came to Adam like 3 weeks out and a little bit behind. I say a little bit, like he wasn't crazy behind. Like Adam showed me some photos, and yeah, he was like softer than where you'd want him to be at 3 weeks out. But he has the muscle and like the overall sort of package that just needed pushing a little bit. Adam said he was on like 130 fat or something when he came to him, and his carbs were like relatively low and his protein was like normal. So Adam was like, right, let's just pull the fats down, and there you go. He got lean. It was like easy. So yeah, he looked class. To be fair to him, really good.
yeah, yeah, very nice physique,
Quads are
especially like for 22. Like, yeah, for 22, he's got a really good foundation. Like, and he's got just a good amount of muscle. Like, it's cool to see because again, most 22-year-olds, like, he doesn't look 22. Like, if you were to watch
he,
this in Nazi Junior,
yeah,
imagine like mid to late 20s.
yeah. He looks like he's trained. Like Adam said, to be fair, he's like his training's really good. Like he's not had to like change anything with his training.
Mm.
Yeah, he looks really good. So that was the junior class. Then on to Masters. I'll be honest, I didn't see much of this. So Nick Richardson won the Masters, Grandmasters, third place. I don't know where. I know Josh Croggan had a client in the Masters.
He got fifth. Yeah.
Yeah, but he also got third in the class, so he might be on here.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, but at this point, I was like,
Mate,
with,
what is Ultra Masters? Like, what the hell's
I
that?
think it's is it 60 plus or 70 plus? It might be 70 plus or 65 plus. I'm not sure. I know it's what so Masters is what 35. Grandmasters is that not
Yeah.
50 plus? Like great Grandmasters be what 60 plus or Ultra Masters maybe 60 plus. Mary, she was very impressive. Coached by Christian, I'm pretty sure. Um,
Mm.
really good. I think for generally like what they want in figure, like maybe a tiny bit too lean and maybe a tiny bit too well muscled. Like I was surprised when I wasn't surprised, but when she came second, I was like, yeah, I kind of get that. Like I think she was probably better than the first place from a like if you're just looking at it as an overall physique, she was bigger and leaner. But that's not what they always look for. And like the third place girl was very soft compared to the second and the first place, but I knew that she'd do well because she was what they usually quite like for figure. Like they don't want to see, like you can see here, that the winner, they don't like detail through your quads in figure
Yeah, like
in UKDFBA. Like they literally say, like, we're not looking for detail through the lower body in figure. We want some detail through the upper and we want nice shape. You know, we want decent set of quads and glutes, good wide lats, etc. But they don't want you to be lean really through the lower body. And I think Mary was just a bit too lean. But if Mary was doing like PCA, she was class, like
yeah.
really good. Yeah,
To be
she
fair,
stood
like,
out.
considering from the criteria there, this Stella girl, like she looks really good because like her midsection's like tight. She's got like visible obliques in the side shots, and then her legs are like full but not like peeled.
Yeah,
So it's like it's that
yeah,
sort of look where
she is good for
particularly
the criteria.
some girls would be a lot. If you'd look at her upper body, it almost doesn't match her lower in regards to condition.
No, she's
You'd almost
like
expect her
genetically where
more.
she stores body fat is perfect for UKDFBA figure.
Yeah,
Also, probably
yeah,
not
definitely.
bad for wellness, like long term. She looks like she could have
Yeah.
that like potential. She was good.
Mm.
Masters figure again. I don't think I really watched too much of this, so apologies for people who may be watching that wanted us to cover these classes. But again, like we both had clients that we were kind of with for a lot of the day. Um, yeah, I didn't see this class. I kind of wish I'd watched this class because I think the standard looked pretty good. I like saw like bits of it. So Chloe came second, and I'm pretty sure was it Abby that won. So Abby won. We've already spoke about Abby in the PCA, Abby Courage, and she ended up winning the overall as well. And yeah, she's really good. Like just I'm sure we said she won a PCA overall. I'm sure she did like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. We have spoken about her before. So yeah, she is really, really good. Like I feel like there's always one in UKDFBA.
Mm.
Like every year there's like one ridiculous figure girl. Like it
Yeah.
seems to be every single year. Like there was Lizzie, Zena's pretty ridiculous. Like there always seems to be just one who does really, really well. There was Abby Kerr. There's always just one girl. Like I'm not saying the other girls aren't good, they are, but there seems to be one that just stands out every year where you're like, fucking hell, they're really good. So
That
yeah,
back
this
is
time.
stupid.
Yeah, mate,
The
she's
lats are
really good.
crazy.
Her posing's
Yeah.
good as well.
Yeah.
I don't know who maybe she's posed by. I'm seeing if it says it on here. But no, she's yeah, very good. Like just pretty much one of those where you know when they're on stage, like you just think, yeah, she's got it. Like she's confident, she's like good with the posing. She does look good. First timers classic. So this was class A. So basically this was the class that this freak won, Jordan Ball,
Yeah. I
and
saw someone. This was like the Natty Kai Green, and I was like, yeah, it actually is.
yeah, he's really, really good. So he trains out of Crayford. So you know Conran, who I coach, is here.
Yeah.
Conran
See,
poses.
mate, I've seen him pose, and I'm not gonna lie, this dude followed me today. He
Yeah,
needs
same.
to yeah, he needs to up his content game because he looks on Instagram incredibly average, and then he
Yeah.
looks ridiculous in person. Like I saw him pose with Comran, and I was like, oh, I don't know if he's doing the teens.
Yeah, there's
Comran didn't get
a couple poses that
like,
Conran like kind of did him on, and I was like, yeah, mate, you've got him here. But
yeah,
like Conran sent me a full round, and like this guy's a freak. Like he would make anybody look pretty small. There were some poses where he did make Conran look small. But yeah, he's
yeah,
good, really good. Like condition was passable because of his size and because he was doing classic. I think one thing as well
yeah.
that like was noticeable yesterday was yes, condition was rewarded, but not as much as it has been in previous years. Like there's some
Mm,
years, well, pretty much every year until now, where UKDFBA it's like they just whoever's leanest. Like there's been times where, especially in physique, somebody's won just because they've got like shredded midsection, like but their shape is poor, their posing's not very good. This year, I think it was judged better in terms of they went with shape and flow and the overall package in pretty much like every class, but maybe more so bodybuilding was like heavily condition biased, which is good. It should be. Classic was slightly less. Physique definitely a lot less than previous years. Like the winners in physique, if you were to look at those last year, you'd go, that's weird. Like they usually peeled and they weren't. Like, which is fine. yeah, I actually think it's better for physique. But anyway, Jordan was ridiculous, like one of the
Yeah.
standouts for the day. Then class B, so I had Ben. So shout out to Ben. Ben, who I found out is I've been calling him Ben Prythurch. But I was sat with his girlfriend Faye, and they pronounce it differently. You know, Lee over the mic. And then I said to
Really?
Faye, I was like, "How do you actually pronounce it?" And she was like, "Prerich." I was like, "Sorry," and she was like, "Prerich," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and say that now then."
I would say I'm gonna keep calling him what I call him.
Yeah, I'll
It's
call him
probably easier.
Prythurch. No, I said she was like, just like you, like a cat coughing up her fur ball. I was like, okay, perfect. So like next time he checks in, I'm just gonna say Ben, and that's his name. But Ben
Maybe.
actually, like, he looked really good. Like,
Seen the time. We've got 8 minutes, and we got to get a move
yeah,
on.
we'll just do a second part. It's fine. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Ben was really good. Like, really, really good. Just a shame that the class was really good. But like, I was really happy with how Ben looked. Like, he actually impressed me, and I think he impressed himself more than he thought he would. But he always does. Whenever I see him in person, I'm always like, mate, you're really good. Like, his shape is stupid. He's got really good potential. His condition was very good, like very passable. It wasn't like, whoa, he's shredded, but it was very good, especially from the front. Just needs to be bigger from the back. But Chris, so this is a guy coached by um Joe Brightman. So
Yeah.
yeah, he looked really good. To be fair, I thought like it was quite close this class. Like the top like three, four. The guy that came in fourth. Did you see the beef with Maka?
Yeah, I heard about it. I got a client send it to me, and
Maka
then
messaged
like,
me. I said I just messaged
yeah,
him with like class because he put like a story on with his sword and he was like not rated. Enjoy fourth place, and then I just messaged him like class.
yeah.
And he said feel free to put this in the once you're in review. So here you go, Maka.
No, 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 mate. I saw that. I saw what it was, and the guy on TikTok only fucking showed like 3 of it. Like he literally showed his side chest in every pose. And he was like, "Look, I'm way bigger than everybody. I'm better than everybody," because he beats them on a side chest. But like
Yeah,
every other pose was probably far worse. So it's like, and then he was blaming racism.
I know.
I don't, mate, we can't comment on it because we're white, and Lee's white, and the judges are white. So you
Whatever
need
we
to get
say.
Sonny in. Sonny
Yeah.
would have won. Ah,
No,
sick.
but in all seriousness, like this guy whose name's like Mod Lifts or something, he looked fucking mint. Like he looked really good. Like fair play to him. He looked sick, but he wasn't quite as sharp as Lewis, who won. The guy in second was the guy who I spoke about earlier, who was really classic, like the epitome of classic. The guy that came
Mhm.
second in the juniors, beat Jack Chan. He was like literally the epitome of classic. Lewis
Yeah.
was very, very good and just sharper on the day than the guy in second. And I think that's what pipped it. Like Lewis was really, really sharp, really good. Coached by Tim. And then, like I say, the guy in third was really well muscled, Chris. With maybe him and fourth, it was probably pretty close. And the guy in fourth just didn't get it on the day. So yeah, Olivia Stevenson won women's physique. Again, sorry guys, I wasn't watching these bits. Women's bodybuilding. Did you watch any of this?
I did not know. I was literally with Jacob like the whole afternoon. Like I didn't really watch the show other
Yeah.
than a few classes here and there. But from
She
when
looks
Jacob
very,
was on for the
she's
overall, I
impressive.
didn't go in. Oh, yeah, she looks good.
Very good. I feel like women's bodybuilding is becoming more and more popular.
And I will say, mate, I don't know if you noticed this or like, women backstage, they're so freaky. I don't know why. Like whenever I see
There
like a
was some,
jacked
wasn't
girl
there?
like pumping up,
Yeah.
yeah, they
There
mate.
were some really,
There was
really
some.
good females.
There was one girl who clearly wasn't natty. She's not competing. She was walking around with like capped rear
Yeah.
delts. Like she was jacked. She was probably the biggest person in the venue.
Yeah, she was.
But yeah, like, when you see girls pump up, there was a girl that I was stood with Thorburn and Adam Powell, and Thorburn goes, "Look at her glutes," and that's the only time ever that it's acceptable within a bodybuilding backstage.
To go like,
Like
yeah.
like yeah, and everyone was like, "Where's her glutes? What? Let's see these
Group of
glutes."
lads going,
And
yeah, like she looks sick.
yeah, she was relaxed. She was relaxed, and you could see striations on her glutes, like just stood there relaxed. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like crazy. It is
So
wild. So
women's
yeah,
overall, Abby won that. And then what on to Open Classic. Did we watch this?
no, I didn't watch this.
I did. Sam,
Yeah,
coached by Christian, really good, really, really good. Very, very sharp, very lean, like really nice physique, good posing routine, good mustache, nice mustache, mate.
great
Um,
mullet as well.
yeah, good mullet.
Yeah.
But he got beat by Ivan, who competed a couple of years ago in the juniors, and was really good. He's come back definitely a little bit bigger, a little bit better. I think like he wasn't as sharp as Sam, but his overall package was just better for classic. A little bit more size, really nice shape, good sweeping quads, nice wide rib cage. Again, like kind of the epitome of classic, to be fair. So yeah, very nice. Then
Yeah.
we had Open Men's. This guy, I think he's coached by Keefe. I'm sure I saw Keefe put a post up about this guy. Very well muscled, very lean, but just in a really, really good class. So this was the class that Sonny was in. Obviously, Sonny's competed before, so basically he couldn't go into first timers. Sonny competed in 2021 as a men's physique athlete. So then he was in open, and like fair play to Sonny, he's made like massive improvements since physique, and I'm really happy with how he's conducted the prep and how he handled himself. Like he got skinned. Like Sonny's really, really lean. Like, his back needs to be better. He needs more muscle there. He needs to pose it better. But like his glutes and hamstrings, his quads, like really, really lean. But then he came up against some huge guys. So fair play. They won, and they were better on the day. And Sonny was cool with that. He was really happy with how he looked, and he should be. Leon, so Leon's competed. I've seen Leon compete quite a lot, and every time it's like fucking hell, he's massive, like he's huge, but he doesn't get all the way in. And I think I've not really spoken to him, but I imagine he would be happy with me saying that. I don't think he'd be like, what? Like, I think he knows it's like, okay, yeah, I got beat by a guy that was a little bit sharper. Like, he's huge. Like, well, he was the biggest guy there yesterday. I know the guy
Yeah.
in Classic was huge, but like Leon would make him look relatively small. Like, Leon is massive. But the guy that beat him was the guy that you said didn't look great in the overall. Which I know what you mean. He doesn't.
Didn't.
No, he doesn't have amazing structure. He doesn't have.
Yeah.
He's not a crazy. It's not like oh my god, he's crazy. But he was a bit sharper. He was really full. Like he did look great. He probably was him at 100%, I'd say, or close. His name's Nathan. His side chest was really
Yeah.
nice. He was great. Like when that was a good battle watching the men's. Because obviously I was watching Sonny. Watching those two was a really good battle, and I think it could have gone either way. I think it was 1 point between. So like I don't
I
think
think.
anybody would have complained if Leon won.
Yeah, no, I don't think I think he looks good. I think he looks really good. But I hadn't watched this class, and obviously he came back out for the overall, and he was the one they did one round of comparisons, and they called this guy out like first, and I literally watched the whole round, and I was the following round. I was like, he's lost every pose by quite some distance to the people around him. I don't know why they called him out first. This guy's really good. I just thought when they called him out in the overall first, I don't know why they called him out. He shouldn't
He
have been
was
in.
he
He
was very
wasn't in the three the overall, in my opinion. He was very good. He just wasn't in the top three. So to call him out first, it's like, you know.
right.
And then this
Let's
is the
wrap it
overall.
up there.
Do you want to cut this off?
Part
Yeah.
two, we will chat about the overall, and we'll bring Jacob in.
Cool. Right. Sound.